Good morning. It's a brand new day, and today is Thursday, October 9th, 2025. It's always a pleasure to have you join us on Signature Morning here on Signature TV. Lillian, good morning to you.
Good morning, Uche.
Well, this morning I was just going through what's going on in the country, and I saw that the World Bank reports that Nigeria's economy expanded by 3.9%, but we still have issues with food prices still remaining high and people not being able to afford it. It's quite, worrisome, don't you think?
Where is the balance? I keep asking myself, where is the balance? People are complaining, yet they are giving us statistics. I don't know what is wrong with this country. Then another thing that I just found out this morning is that Nigeria is trying to issue its first sovereign sukuk, that's Islamic bond. And on top of it, African Development Bank is, aiming at giving Nigeria $500 million debt.
Loan, actually.
Loan.
It's funny, we've not finished paying the loan that we have, and we're taking another loan. Anyway, Nigerian wahala, no, they finish. So, it's what we do. Well, thank you so much for joining us as we, talk about issues that concern Nigeria and Nigerians. I am Uchenna Chimdi Oluoha.
And I am Lillian Wali. Coming up next is our newspaper headlines and review. Stay with us.
Can you hear him?
Welcome back. Now it's time for our newspaper headlines. On the Punch newspaper, Presidency rejects World Bank's poverty report. Nigerians living in poverty rose from 115 million in 2023 to 139 million in 2025, says World Bank. Presidency disputes data, defends reforms. World Bank urges action on inflation and poverty.
Now, the UN says Nigeria lost $10 billion to Northeast conflict. And we have opposition slams governors as state IGR soars by 50%.
Christian killings, FG disagrees as Khan backs US senator. And Dangote refinery engineers on warpath over redeployment.
Strike, FG ASU in high-stakes talks. And fraud, Interpol arrests wanted Nigerian in Argentina.
LP senators shrink to 4 as Chukwu joins APC.
Now on the Vanguard newspaper, on page 5, we have new Inec chair for Council of States preview today. Tinubu to present nominee at today's meeting. Amupiton in top contention, screened. President in firm control of nomination process. How politicians tried to force choice of nominee. APC chairman's institutional impute.
And on page 9, my resignation, not admission of guilt, says Nnaji. Atiku urges probe of Tinubu, cabinet members' academic records.
Alleged terrorism, NMA report stalls Nnamdi Kanu's trial on page 11.
139 million Nigerians living in poverty despite reform gains, World Bank.
Senate summons defense minister, COAS, IGP over insecurity in Kwara South.
And NESG global order losing empathy. Nigeria must produce for itself, says Edun.
Alleged genocide, Christian lives not statistics, Khan tells FG.
And on the Guardian newspaper, 17 local government areas under attack, says Benue Emergency Agency.
On page 6, World Bank, Nigeria's reforms yielded stability, not relief for poor.
NCC confiscates pirated books valued at 100 million naira in Lagos shops, and presidency orders military to flush bandits out of Kwara forest.
JAM screens 176 underage candidates amid push for policy review.
And presidency reps no claims of genocide against Christians to inform UN.
Now, Inec, court orders IGP Ebetoku to arrest Yakubu, and Obasanjo says you can't develop without investment on page 29.
And reps summon Togger and envoys over $54 million foreign mission funds.
On the Nation newspaper, we have on page 7, on page 4, shelf plan strike allows Satel's ASU. And on page 7, Bank of Industry's 2 billion naira loan for core members.
How reforms are bringing down poverty by presidency. World Bank led policies reflect on living standard. 139 million could live in poverty by 2025, and APC set to take in defecting governors.
NGOs seek ban on Nnaji from holding public office.
And 176 underage UTME candidates undergo screening. NPA shops for investors in Japan.
APC sets to take in defecting governors. Party now holds 2/3 in Senate. All right, and that is all we can take on our newspaper headlines this morning. And now it's time for our review with Chris Maduka. Good morning.
Good morning, Uche. Good morning, Lillian.
Good morning, Chris.
Yes, you ladies are looking bright and early today.
You're looking bright and early as well.
Thank you. You're just whining me so that I won't feel bad.
Oh, no.
Who can ever... Only ladies feel bright and early in Nigeria in these hard and hardship times. But that's okay. Whatever is the case, we welcome you to another day on Signature TV Newspaper Review.
Yes.
And they've introduced me as Chris Maduka.
Yes.
Well,
So now, the World Bank is giving a report why presidency is rejecting the poverty report.
you know, it's funny. The presidency will now reject a loan from World Bank. But when World Bank tell them that the poverty, give them poverty report of Nigeria, they will reject it. You see Nigeria, cheat their eye. Somebody is a minister of finance. Somebody is advisor to the president on finance. Somebody advises president to collect loan from all the loaning bodies. But when a loaning body like World Bank tells you, we are ready to give you loan, but this is the report of your poverty rate, you say no. They forgot. Or is it that they pretend because they know that whoever befriends a bad wasted woman, you know, if you befriend somebody who has bad waist, whether it's a woman or a man, it is you that will carrying the person up or down. If Nigeria federal government want to be borrowing money from World Bank, let them get ready to take all the reports that come from World Bank. They will reject reports that indict them, but they will collect loan. Don't they know that the loans they are collecting is reporting on our poverty rate? Who is paying the loan? Is it not Nigerians? It's service courts. It's evident. And we in this station have discussed about debt profile of Nigeria and how it has helped, you know, affected service courts. Illicit fund flow everywhere, no control. And these are the leg now go carry reach Umaya. And when somebody tells Nigeria that your poverty rate is high, they will say no. But we know, we are Nigerians, that we are in poverty. A lot of them have in other places, you know, when they speak, they don't know people are watching. A lot of them have said Nigeria is the poverty headquarters of Africa. But it's unfortunate. How can we live in the beach, an ocean beach, and we are washing our hands with saliva? It's an error. Error of leadership, error of judgment, error of wickedness, error of insensitivity. Only yesterday, African Development Bank is flying $500 million loan to Nigeria. And the presidency, the same presidency, is flying the kite of $2.something billion loan, extra loan. When you check what this present federal government has borrowed, since 65 years of Nigeria independence, no single government has borrowed such money. And when they see reports, instead of accepting what we are saying, you can still, as a politician, they all are, accept a good report and then find a way of, in Nigeria, our politicians don't know how to tell lies. They are not creative with learning lies. They tell lies blatantly, thinking that Nigerians are still the old Nigerians of 1960 when we got independent. But a lot of things has opened the eyes of Nigerians. They are dealing with people now who have access to information. Even some of them that are sitting in government do not have. How many of them have time to even search for information about Nigeria they are governing? It's woe, honestly. Because most of the times we review the presidency this is not NDC. This is neither a PDP nor Labour Party saying about. We are talking about World Bank that when they cough, Nigeria will catch cold. As somebody sitting down with very myopic economic skill, we come and say presidency. You know one thing, they will always talk presidency, so everybody will think is Tinubu. It is not Tinubu. Tinubu have people they've employed, they pay with our money, that are not working. They will only be massaging the ego of Tinubu, thinking that's what they want. But I don't think that's what President Tinubu wants. Those people who are giving him this, telling or painting us this way, I don't know what they think. Because that's what my father said. When a native doctor is fond of doing cholera juju to affect people, does that descend Dibia or native doctor, the wicked one, the malevolent native doctor, does he have his nyash up the sky? Because one day, the same juju will enter his hand and he begin to stew. I'm trying to break it down because when I give proverb of bone and silence, some people will say, what is this man talking about? We're in Nigeria. As far as we survive as resilient people, this hardship and hunger, one day it will affect them. Because Nigeria has a way. If you trace even the Minister of Finance of Nigeria, some in his village are going through this. But he will cocoon himself in Abuja, giving bogus reports, trying to defend the president. If you don't know what to say about keep quiet. Don't put our presidency into a disrepute with defending reports you know is true. We are in Nigeria. How much do the people who sit in presidency know they sell a mudu of Abado? How much do they sell a mudu of Ewa? And somebody sits down, they are telling us, and when people say Nigeria is poor, Nigerians are poor, he will defending it. That their wickedness is doing, but they will receive wickedness. Instead of keeping quiet, they are getting us annoyed with this, trying to make us look like the presidency is insensitive. But the president of Federal Republic of Nigeria is sensitive. But the people working with him are so insensitive and wicked. They're trying to paint what is unpaintable. And the presidency should look in. Some of these people that tell these lies to defend him, he should sack them.
All right, Chris, let's move on to another one. This is still on the Punch. This Christian killings, FG disagrees as Khan backs U.S. Senator. And we're seeing too that on the Vanguard, still the same thing, alleged genocide, Christian lives, not statistics, Khan tells FG.
There's a way I will talk about it that people think because I'm a Christian and defend it. I will only pick what Khan said and said, life of Nigerians have gone to statistics. How many? The Christians are saying they're being killed. And somebody defending it. But it's the man who wear the shoe that know where he pains. If they're killing other people, let them come out and say. This Christian Association of Nigeria do not own monopoly of who is killed. But you defend your own. Christian Association of Nigeria, it's not even Christian Association of Nigeria because they were cowed into not saying it. And they are dying in silence. But somebody in the US Senate got this report. That's why I tell you about Nigeria. They do this and they don't know the world is watching us. A senator in US picked this with so much report flying about Nigeria, analyzed it and said that the lives of Christians in Nigeria is at risk. That is pushing in US Senate that they do something to protect Christians in Nigeria. Federal government is still defending it. That will tell you. Somebody, not even the president of Nigeria, because when he spoke to us during 65 years of Nigeria, he didn't mention it. It's somebody who sits down after eating kola nut at the presidency, looking for what, when he got tired, don't know what to say, he begins to defend what is indefensible. These people who are talking about, you don't think about US senators as people talking without data. On this station, the Amnesty International report was talked about. The Inter-Society talked about. Of 1,900,000 churches demolished and killed. Some burnt. People were in full church in our war. In our war. Not far away. It was recently that arraigning the people they said they caught. In our war, a church, a Catholic church, full in service, was bombed. So when you talk, that is only one. Since this terror and banditry start, they have the record, the reports are written down and circulating around the world. Somebody in presidency is defending this. Instead of telling us, we are making effort, we are working with our security agency to stop, that is how somebody who is handling crisis talk. I studied crisis communication. These are people who sit down in our Senate causing more trouble for the president, the principal leader of Nigeria, with what they say, because they are ignorant. They don't know how, they will think they are pleasing the presidency. But I keep don't understand, because the goat that is lying on the ground is lying on this ground, on this skin. They are in Nigeria. If you are in presidency, you must have a choice. Either you're a Muslim or a Christian, or even a traditional African worship, or even an atheist. There must be something you belong to. And when the killings are happening, it's killing everybody. The Christians Association of Nigeria have not said it's only Christians are being killed. But they are saying that their lives are at risk. And somebody is defending it. That will tell you so many things we have to defend. Let's move on. Let them go ahead defend. One day, the highest thing, they will soon leave the office. And some of them will leave office. Is it not Yakub Mahmoud, the Inec, that the court has ordered? That's how complex Nigerian society can be. On the day the man is handing over, a court is ordering arrest. It's on record. Whether they arrest at last or not, it has been gazetted in Nigerian law records that the day Yakub, the so-called Mahmoud Yakub, or whatever his name is, that was and superseded Inec over time. The day he was handing over is the day the court. This one the same way they with people in Asorok defending presidency when reports come. There's the same way one day they will find themselves out of that place. Then agony honor. You know when a snake, big snake, python swallow something, he must lie down there still with that until that thing deteriorates in the body. So when agwo python swallow something, he must lie down there for that long until that thing that is agony honor yedina one day. It's only a matter of time. Let them go ahead talking and defending indefensible, defending with their life because they want bread and butter. We can still get bread and butter by not defending what is undefensible. It makes them insensitive and wicked. That's all I see.
Mm-hmm. All right. We're saying that Nnaji is saying that his resignation is not admission of guilt.
Whatever it is that make him resign shows that there's no smoke without fire. So, all you know, the story started that the documents were forged, some of the documents. And then at last, the man threw in the towel and said he resigned. And the federal government quickly accepted his resignation. And then every other thing that happened is story, story, story. He has resigned. Whether hook or crook, something has happened. Because when you have a rope and you will tear it and start tying it back, you will have a hook. You will start having bumps, you know. Whatever has happened, our dear minister Uchennaji's name has been stained somewhere or the other. The best thing is for us to accept as it is and keep quiet. What any day the newspapers, if they like him, they should just keep him in what they call media dark corner for some time, because anytime his name comes up, it reminds us that there are many people in government who are there with fake certificates, forged in Nigerian fake markets. They are using it to get to the highest sense. Somebody said it calls for our vetting system. Before a minister is appointed in Nigeria, he will drop his document. He will go through the Senate. The Senate of Federal Republic of Nigeria are indicted in whatever happens here, because when you come with the fake thing, they will say, take a bow and go. They won't even ask you a simple question. Take a bow and go. So, the person, they now know that what is good for the geese is good for the gander. When you are befriending one cocoa, that the chicken, any person that has a fond of dealing with chicken, you always carry apana in your body, and the apana is the chicken drops. That is what has happened. The National Assembly has been indicted with Uchennaji's issue. And there are so many people that have passed through that place and took bows and go, that are fake. Meaning, I'm not saying our distinguished Senate of Federal Republic of Nigeria is not fake. But when they start acting and approving fake people, it shows that some part of them are fake. Let them come and tell the world how they asked a lot of ministers in Nigeria to pass through there and take a bow when they have fake certificate in 2025. When with a simple click you can find out the records of anybody. So if it is not that our senators have a fake idea of what Uchennaji did, or they deliberately faked with him to go, and now he's been disgraced. But remember, when you, like I said, if you befriend a bad-waisted woman, you will be carrying him up and carrying her down. This is the same thing. So the Lady Senate of Federal Republic of Nigeria, who approved this appointment and asked him to take a bow, let them take also the blame. Because a country with National Assembly of distinguished Senate that can approve for this man to be a minister in Nigeria, they are also complicit. Let's not forget. So what are we talking about? If they didn't approve and told him that you have fake certificate, he wouldn't have been there. But somebody closed his eyes. We have president and we have Senate. We have all the officials of the Senate who could have done the vetting. So our vetting system is faked. Our vetting system are manned by fake people, and what they pull out is fake people. So fake. Let us fake Nigeria and move on. Let's go.
All right, now still on this issue of insecurity, we're seeing that the presidency orders military to flush bandits out of Kwara Forest. We have 17 local government areas under attack, says Benue Emergency Agency. And then Nigeria lost $10 billion to Northeast conflict from the UN.
Only Northeast, $10 billion. It moved from Northeast, entered North-South. They've not told us how much. Somebody will defend it. No, we didn't lose 10 billion. It's only 10 naira. That's it. Instead of looking at the issue, we have lost. They didn't tell us, the people reporting it didn't tell us the number of lives. So, because if they talk number of lives, the same people in presidency will defend it. But let's deal with the money. Because for Nigerian, the life of Nigeria is now naira and kobo. If we lose billions of people, we will quantify it into 10 billion naira. And then it's like, with a country that has one corrupt politician in Nigeria having 500 billion in their account. What is 10 billion? You know, that will tell you how useless our lives has become in Nigeria. From northeast, northwest, north central, in Benue, 17 local government under siege. Then it has entered north central, going towards Kwara. If you are traveling from Kwara to Lagos, in less than 3 hours, you get to Lagos. And that's the ocean. So you start from the Sahara Desert to the ocean. They are moving down. And we are bantering. You know, they ask them to come. Some people sit down, we are under the army, chief of our defense staff, chief of army staff, COS, and all. Go and flush them out. That's what they can. Go and flush them out. That's what we have had for the last 22 years of banditry in Nigeria. But they have not been able to flush them out. Why then not review the strategy? You cannot solve everything with political talks. And Nigeria has been going one by one under the banditry and terror. And we have been talking, flush them out. They will kill here, flush them out. That's what federal government urge them, flush them out, flush them out. When even the people they say flush them out have been indicted as people supporting the people who attack it. Dog now eats bone, hung on his neck. That is the irony of Nigeria. But that's the same country we are. We have president, we have Senate president, we have vice president, we have the chief, the Attorney General of Federal Republic. We have big positions, beautiful. We have the chief of army staff, we have chief of defense staff, we have advisor, we have defense advisor. NSA, Nigerian security advisor, all this. That is. And then terror has moved from northeast and entered Nigeria central. Kwara. And we're still talking like this. Well, there's nothing. If you talk too much, it's like when it happened. I mean, those ones who have been killed, they're not here shouting. Have they not gone? They'll go. Or die be die. If that's how Nigeria want to finish up, let us go ahead missing and smiling. But my father told me that a town, a community where people are missing and they are smiling, they will never know when they all go into extinction. Nigeria is not at home. I'll say it again. And I keep saying, the way we approach things, insincerity, tribalism, nepotism, we have been divided along all these lines. And how can the center can never hold again? And we are deceiving ourselves. Nigeria at 65 is an old man that kept telling himself lies and lies and lies. Is getting old. Is it that if he cannot tell himself truth at 65, is it when he gets to 100?
All right.
You are getting as good as mine. So let us ask ourselves, because we are Nigerians. When I ask questions, I'm also asking myself. So some people would think it's not about them, we and them. We are Nigerians, and we are telling ourselves lies. And I know until I'm convinced. And that is not hard to convince me. Just show me one, two, and I'll follow you.
All right, Chris Maduka. I have faith. Nigeria go better. I don't know.
I'm not working on your faith. I'm not touching your faith. All I've said is to give you faith. I'm not saying these are issues we are reviewing so that somebody will make your faith stronger by coming out to start acting instead of using political talk.
All right.
So God bless you for having been with us this morning. God be with my grown-up angels. God be with you everywhere you have walked up. But remember that God's blessing for those who deserve
to be blessed.
Well, a very big thank you to you, Chris Maduka, for being in the studio to review our newspaper this morning. And that is where we draw the line this morning on that review. Do stay with us. Signature Morning continues after now.
Every second, every minute, every